Welcome back to iForbes Sports. I'm Yuna, and I'm here to give you the 14 NBA games result today, game schedules for tomorrow, and the updated NBA team standings as of today, April 10th, 2024.
We have a very busy 14 NBA games played today, April 10th. In the first game, Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers got their 6 straight wins as they easily defeated the NBA worst team at home 120-102. The Sixers still currently at 7th place in the East, but they are still in the hunt for an automatic playoff series spot, with 3 games left for them in the regular season. In the second game, the Indiana Pacers also won a crucial game in Canada, as they downed the Toronto Raptors 140-123. Indiana still hanging on to the precarious 6th spot, but just 1 full game ahead of the Sixers in the final stretch of the regular season. In the third game, the Dallas Mavericks blows out the Charlotte Hornets on the road, 130-104 for their 4th straight victory. Luka Doncic had another monster night, finishing with a triple-double, 39 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists as Dallas comfortably sits at the 5th spot in the Western Conference. In the fourth game, the Miami Heat defeated the Atlanta Hawks on the road 117-111 in overtime. The Heat limited the Hawks to just 4 points in the extra period to keep their hopes alive for an automatic spot in a very tight Eastern Conference final placing race from 2nd to 8th spots. For the 5th game, the Milwaukee Bucks came out as a different team from what we saw in their last few games, as they take out the league-leading Boston Celtics 104-91. A little tweak in the starting lineup did it, as Patrick Beverley was inserted to the first 5, and the Bucks came out blazing. Beverley top-scored for the Bucks with 20 points in 26 minutes of action. In the 6th game, in the battle of eliminated teams, the visiting San Antonio Spurs defeated the Memphis Grizzlies 102-87. The alien Victor Wembanyama continues to impress and fill the stat sheet as he finishes with 18.7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 7 shot blocks. In the 7th game, the Oklahoma City Thunder rallied from a 20-point deficit to beat the Sacramento Kings at home 112-105. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had another great performance, finishing with game-high 40 points, as the Thunder still within striking distance for the West top seed. However, their competition also keeps on winning, as the Thunder is still stuck at 3rd place in the West, with just 3 games remaining in the regular season. In the 8th game, the Minnesota Timberwolves overcome a very slow start as they storm back from 20-point deficit to beat the Washington Wizards at home 130-121. Anthony Edwards was a dominant force in this game, finishing with game-high 51 big points, as the Timberwolves barely hangs on to the top spot in the West, with Denver and Oklahoma City very closely on their tail. In the 9th game, the Houston Rockets bent out their frustration after getting eliminated, as they beat the visiting Orlando Magic 118-106. Fred VanVleet was spectacular in this game, finishing with 37 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. All pressure is on Orlando as they are fighting for an automatic playoff series spot and home court advantage, and can't afford to lose as well, as they might end up in play-in games in a blink of an eye, in a very tight Eastern Conference standings. In the 10th game, the New York Knicks gets the crucial victory they needed to maintain a spot for the playoffs with home court advantage as they beat the Chicago Bulls on the road, 128-100. Jalen Brunson continues to impress as the drops 45 points and 8 assists to lead the Knicks to another victory. The Bulls will be playing the Atlanta Hawks in the play-in games as the 9th and 10th spots, and will be needing to win twice in this mini-tournament of 7th to 10th place in order to secure a playoff series spot. In the 11th game, the NBA defending champs Denver Nuggets gets an easy victory on the road, 111-95, to keep in step with the Timberwolves in the West top spot. However, the Wolves still have the tiebreaker advantage. In the 12th game, the New Orleans Pelicans gets a crucial victory on the road 110-100 against the Portland Trail Blazers, as they barely hanging on to the 6th spot in the Western Conference. In the 13th game, the Los Angeles Clippers came out firing on all cylinders and break the game wide open very early as the hangs-on to beat the Phoenix Suns on the road 105-92. Paul George led the Clippers with 23.7 rebounds and 5 assists, who plays without James Harden and Kawhi Leonard in this game. the loss was painful for the Suns, as they dropped to 7th place and may have to go through play-in games just to get a playoff series spot if they continue to play this way. In the 14th and final game today, the Golden State Warriors dealt the Los Angeles Lakers a huge blow as the Warriors won 134-120. The loss relegated the Lakers back to the 9th spot, where they are in collision course with the Golden State Warriors once again in a do-or-die play-in game if this trend continues. I will be giving you a very close look at the NBA updated team standings and explain their positions, and I will also explain the format of the play-in games for 7th to 10th spot later in this video, so keep on watching. But first, let me give you the NBA games scheduled for tomorrow. Here are the 8 NBA games scheduled for tomorrow, April 11th, 2024. For the first game, the Cleveland Cavaliers will host the Memphis Grizzlies at 7 in the morning. For the second game, it's a non-bearing game as the Toronto Raptors travels to Brooklyn to face the Nets at 7:30 a.m. For the third game, the Dallas Mavericks will be in Miami to face the Heat, also at 7:30 in the morning. For the fourth game, the Atlanta Hawks will host the Charlotte Hornets in another non-bearing game. For the fifth game, it's a crucial battle between the Bucks and the Orlando Magic in Milwaukee as the playoff race reached the boiling point in positioning. Tip-off will be at 8 in the morning. For the sixth game, Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs will be tested in Oklahoma City as the Thunder continues to chase the number 1 seed in the West. Tip-off will also be at 8 a.m. For the seventh game, the matchup between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets, who are the current West 1st and 2nd seed, and a virtual game decider as to who will get the West top seed. And for the 8th and final game scheduled tomorrow, it's another Clippers-Suns game, as the game shifts in Los Angeles, as the Clippers host the revenge-seeking Phoenix Suns in their second game of their back-to-back series. Tip-off will be at 10:30 in the morning.
Now, let's take a close look at the very tight NBA team standings for both conferences and see where your favorite teams are, as of today, April 10th, 2024.
The race for the Western Conference top seed is still at fever pitch as the Minnesota Timberwolves reclaims the top spot with 55 wins and 24 losses riding on a 2-game winning run. Still at the second spot is the NBA defending champs Denver Nuggets, also with 54 wins and 24 losses, and will have a chance to overtake the Timberwolves if they win at home against Minnesota tomorrow for a virtual decider game for the top seed. At third place is the Oklahoma City Thunder, with 54 wins and 25 losses and still in contention as well for the West top seed. On their way to lock up the fourth spot is the Los Angeles Clippers with 51 wins and 28 losses and on a 4-game winning streak. At fifth spot is the West dark horse, as the Dallas Mavericks with 49 wins and 30 losses and have won 4 straight games looks like in collision course against the Clippers in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Going up to the sixth spot is the New Orleans Pelicans with 47 wins and 32 losses. They are now 1 full game ahead of the Suns for a sure automatic playoff series spot. Going down at 7th spot is the Phoenix Suns, with a 46 wins and 33 loss record, and in a must-win all situation in their 3 remaining games in hope to avoid the dangerous play-in games. Climbing to the 8th spot is the Sacramento Kings with 45 wins and 34 losses. Sliding to the 9th spot is the Los Angeles Lakers with 45 wins and 35 losses, and looking like they will be settling for a play-in match, and a do-or-die match against the Golden State Warriors is a high probability at this point. 10th place belongs to the Golden State Warriors with 44 wins and 35 losses riding on a 2-game winning run. Can Steph Curry whirl another magic and propel them to the playoffs? Now, here are the eliminated teams. Number 11 is the Houston Rockets, with 39 wins and 40 losses. Number 12 is the Utah Jazz, with 29 wins and 50 losses. Number 13 is the Memphis Grizzlies, with 27 wins and 52 losses. Number 14 is the Portland Trail Blazers, with 21 wins and 58 losses. And on the 15th and final spot, the San Antonio Spurs with 20 wins and 59 losses. In the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics is just fine-tuning plays as they locked up the top overall seed this season with a 62 wins and 17 loss record. Still hanging on to the second spot is the Milwaukee Bucks with 48 wins and 31 losses after a big win against the Celtics. Climbing into the third place is Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks with 47 wins and 32 losses, and have won back-to-back games. At the fourth spot is the Orlando Magic with 46 wins and 33 losses. Sliding down to the fifth spot is the Cleveland Cavaliers with 46 wins and 33 losses after losing 3 straight games. At the sixth place is the Indiana Pacers with 45 wins and 34 losses and have won 3 in a row. Up at the seventh spot is the Philadelphia 76ers with 45 wins and 35 losses and on a 6-game winning streak after getting a major boost with the return of their star, Joel Embiid. In the eighth place is the dangerous Miami Heat with 44 wins and 35 losses. We know how this team plays during the playoffs. At the ninth place is the Chicago Bulls with 37 wins and 42 losses and will be playing against the Atlanta Hawks in the play-in games in a do-or-die game. 10th spot belongs to the Atlanta Hawks with 36 wins and 43 losses. Both the Hawks and the Bulls needs to win twice in the play-in mini-tournament to be able to secure a playoff series spot. Now, here are the eliminated teams. Number 11 is the Brooklyn Nets with 31 wins and 48 losses. Number 12 is the Toronto Raptors with 25 wins and 54 losses. Number 13 is the Charlotte Hornets with 19 wins and 60 losses. Number 14 is the Washington Wizards with 15 wins and 65 losses. And on the 15th and final spot, the Detroit Pistons with 13 wins and 66 losses.
That's it for today's NBA updates. Tune in again tomorrow, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. This has been your NBA Forbes reporter Yuna. Let's shoot that ball. Peace out.